We'll just have you stand one side of the hair, and I'll have you stand on the other side. Perfect.
Anywhere's good there. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here today. Really appreciate it. Earlier this afternoon, I submitted my 2024 proposed budget to the Assembly. During the development of this budget, the safety of Anchorage residents was kept top of mind while focusing on cost efficiencies. For 2024, I added funding for snow removal, road maintenance and repairs, and to the continuation of public transit Route 85. I made sure there were no cuts to our public safety departments, and I lowered the tax burden on property tax payers. My budget prioritizes the people and allows the continuation of crucial services and operations while being $12 million beneath the tax cap. I conducted thorough reviews of each department's budget and realized spending efficiencies. This review allowed us to improve government spending processes and brought us to a budget that is $2.4 million less than my proposed budget of last year of 2023. We were certainly faced with a fiscal challenge through this budget process, but my budget proposal is proof that the government always has room to improve on its spending. The budget that I propose to the Assembly uses less property taxes to fund government. With a high cost of living, it was important to me to ease the tax burden on our taxpayers. After last year's historic snowfall, we identified several areas in our snow removal response plan that needed improvement. I added $1.5 million to the city's snow removal budget so residents get their streets cleared in the timely manner that they deserve. Excuse me. I know city plowing has been a popular topic over the years, so I want to assure Anchorage residents that they do not have to choose between public safety or snow removal under my administration. Now, speaking of public safety, I kept those budgets whole. I made 0 cuts. It is paramount that the Anchorage Fire Department and the Anchorage Police Department remain fully funded to keep our community safe. Not only are these departments essential to the safety of community, but they spend a lot of time and effort addressing homelessness as well. I've been working tirelessly to find a solution to our homelessness issue and have been met with much resistance from the Assembly. And until we can get a shelter up and running, we will continue to see homeless people on our streets. APD and the fire department have been pivotal in addressing homelessness, so I wanted to ensure their budgets remained intact. Public transit continues to be a priority of mine. In 2021, the municipality received a grant from the Federal Transit Administration with a 3-year time limit. This grant was used to fund a pilot route, which was Route 85, which has become one of our busiest routes. This pilot program is set to expire next year. The community relies on public transit as an affordable transportation option. This bus route is exceptionally popular, and I want to make sure Anchorage residents have continued, reliable, and affordable transportation. I'm happy to share that I added $1.2 million to the continuation of Route 85 and to public transit. Now, in Alaska, we continue to see our students' literacy lag the national average. That is why it is important to invest in early childhood education programs. I'm happy to share that I've allocated alcohol tax revenue to early childhood education grants with $250,000 being appropriated to Best Beginnings. Best Beginnings is a public-private partnership that mobilizes people and resources to ensure all Alaska children begin school ready to succeed. It is an incredible program that provides meaningful services to our community, and I am very proud to support them. On to the Port of Alaska. The Port of Alaska's modernization project continues to be and must be a top priority. This year, the petroleum and cement terminal was completed and saw its first ship in June. We also began work on the North End Stabilization Phase 1 program, and that's a vital step towards port safety and security, and we commenced also construction on the new administration building at the port. In 2024, we will continue to work on securing funding for the port through federal grants and the TIFIA program. Remember, over 90% of all goods that come to Alaska, to include food, are received through the Port of Alaska. Their modernization project is critical, and its completion will ensure food security and sustainability for all Alaskans. Lastly, nothing is more important than the safety of Anchorage citizens. In this budget, I allocated funds to the Anchorage Senior Center to improve safety there. I added $130,000 to the safety program for OSHA inspections, which is crucial to keep the municipality OSHA compliant. And I prioritized funding for crucial safety enhancements needed at the Merrill Field Airport. I am proud to have delivered a budget that comes in beneath the tax cap, that keeps the safety and well-being of Anchorage residents top of mind, and continues to deliver crucial and essential services and operations. Tomorrow, I will be available for one-on-one interviews with the media, so please reach out to Veronica Hoxie for more information. And with that, I would like to take some questions.
Do we have questions for the mayor?
Mr. Mayor, Zach Hughes with ADN.
Yeah, Zach.
Where did the $12 million or the $1.5 million you mentioned below last year's budget? Can you describe where you found some savings on that if major departments like fire and police have been kept whole?
2.4, not 1.5.
I apologize.
We found that in savings throughout the rest of the departments. A lot of that was in the vacancy differential, so we worked that. We scrubbed this budget real hard. All the directors had a shot at this, and quite frankly, our directors, I'm extremely proud of them for the work that they did.
Felt like a lot of trims just from
Yeah.
department budgets and finding.
Yep.
Other questions?
Question for the fire chief, if you don't mind. I'm aware that right now, I mean, you guys are approaching some big retirements from folks that entered under the Tier 3 system. Are there any plans in this budget to either add academies or increase recruitment, increase benefits packages to try and kind of keep some of that attrition from eating into the department staffing numbers?
Yes, sir. We are anticipating a slug of retirements coming up in the next 18 months or so. We currently have about 100 people, in addition to those that have already retired, who are nearing retirement, and they'll reach their 25 years under PERS in the next 2 years. So to answer your question, yes, we are conducting an academy, which starts on the week after next. It'll be a smaller academy this year. We're hiring 10 people. This will account for most of the vacancies we currently have. We're also going to hire another academy in the spring of 2024 with the express purpose of preparing to get ahead of the tidal wave of retirements that are coming. And to your question about adding to the benefit packages, that's not been part of the discussion so far. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, you mentioned the issues with police and other first responders having to deal with the homeless issue. Can you tell us what's going on up at Third and Ingra? I know there's a plan to eventually abate the people there once shelter opens up in a few weeks, days. Is there anything going on with impounding vehicles now, or the police taking action?
Well, there's a few questions in there. The impoundment is a police chief question, but the plan for, if you want some detailed facts, our housing and homeless coordinator is here. She could, as she steps up, I'll let the chief answer the impoundment question.
So we are impounding vehicles. We've given plenty of notice. We're impounding vehicles that are being just abandoned on site. Seems like a lot of people took the opportunity. They don't want to pay storage fees, so they just brought a bunch of vehicles and storing them there. So we've given proper notice, and we've started to impound those vehicles that have no purpose except they're just either abandoned there or being stored there.
And I have a question for you too as well, if that's all right. We understand that is there a staff shortage at APD right now? And what are the efforts, besides some of the recruiting efforts that we see in social media, to try to address some of those staffing needs?
So we do have quite a few vacancies. if you're wondering, we are hiring, so if you want to apply, come on over. We are providing the services the police department do provide. Uh, you might have to wait longer for police to show up to a call, but it's not affecting the police service to the city right now.
So that'd be a follow-up question. Have there been delays in response times for certain, I guess, alleged crimes in the city? I've heard this anecdotally a lot.
If it's we prioritize our calls. If it's a low priority call and there aren't officers available, then there will be an extended time for police to respond.
And can you say how many officer patrol positions are open or how many staff positions are short?
I have 52 vacancies right now out of 441 positions
That would be 52 vacancies in total.
across the board. I have shortages in every department except the ones that are critical, like the homicide units, sexual assault units.
And then, did you have any other updates today besides this, besides the questions that we've asked?
In reference to,
So,
I'm grateful that the mayor has a continuation budget that keeps me at the level, which allows me to continue to advertise, and hopefully I can fill the academies so we'll become fully staffed by the end of next year.
so what's your,
Sorry, if you have other questions about APP, feel free to reach out to the communications director.
okay,
Do you have any other questions
Well,
regarding the budget?
could you address the issue, Alexis, of what the timeline is for revealing what the full winter shelter plan is?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for the question. So we did go through a formal procurement process. One of those ITBs for Congregate Shelter closed today. We will have names of awardees coming public in the next few days. The one for non-congregate sheltering closes on Wednesday. So we will have a full identification of where people will be going and the contractors who will be running the operations at those facilities by the end of week. We believe we're going to have about 522 beds coming online, the most that any administration has ever had going into emergency cold weather sheltering season. And we plan to abate 3rd and Ingra when those shelter beds become available. Thank you.
All right, any other questions for the budget?
Mr. Mayor, you've mentioned before that inflation has been a big problem for residents, I mean, government across the board. So, I mean, in the continuation budget, does it take some of those inflationary pressures that have happened in the last year into account, or is it a continuation?
Well, this is not a continuation budget. There's some departments that are flat. There's some that took a 2% cut. We worked through an exercise, so every director had to go through and provide a budget for a 0% flat, 2% cut, and a 4% cut, and then we made our determinations in the budget process over the last few months on what those would actually look like. The chief's a little bit wrong. He got about $100,000 extra, so he isn't completely flat. And to me, $100,000 is a lot of money, so I want credit for that. But the at AFD, they're almost identically to the dollar flat. So I just want to correct that.
All right, and that's all we will have for today. If anyone would like one-on-one time with the mayor tomorrow to discuss the budget, please reach out to me and I can help her. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.